May 1996. Mount Everest. 8,000 meters above sea level. A man was lying face down in the snow. Not moving. His face was completely frozen. His right arm was a solid block of ice. His left hand was gone. 2 doctors examined him. They checked his pulse. They checked his breathing. They made a decision. He was dead. They left him there. They had to. You can't carry a dead man down Everest. They said their goodbyes. And walked away. There was just one problem. He wasn't dead. Beck Weathers was a 49-year-old pathologist from Texas. He had a good life. A successful career. A wife. 2 kids. But Beck had a problem. He was never truly happy. He described it as a black cloud that followed him everywhere. Depression. Deep. Relentless. Depression. The only time that cloud lifted was when he was climbing mountains. So he climbed. He climbed mountains all over the world. And in 1996 he decided to climb the biggest one. Everest. His wife Peach wasn't happy about it. She had a feeling. Something bad was going to happen. Beck told her not to worry. He had climbed dozens of mountains. He knew what he was doing. He kissed her goodbye. And flew to Nepal. That was the last time she would see him as she knew him. The 1996 Everest expedition was not just Beck's team. Multiple teams were attempting the summit that season. Beck was with a guided expedition led by Rob Hall. One of the most experienced Everest guides in the world. Everything seemed fine at first. But early in the climb Beck discovered a problem. A serious one. He had had eye surgery before the trip. At high altitude his vision failed completely. He could barely see. He told Rob Hall. Rob made him a deal. Wait here. If your vision improves, come up when we descend. If it doesn't improve, go back down. Beck agreed. He waited for hours. Alone. On the side of Everest. At 27,000 feet. Then something strange happened. His vision came back. Partially. Beck made a decision. He was going up. That decision almost killed him. May 10, 1996. The summit teams were descending when the storm hit. Not just any storm. One of the deadliest storms in Everest history. Winds over 100 miles per hour. Temperature dropping to -60. Visibility 0. People couldn't see their own hands. Beck was caught in the open. No shelter. No visibility. In a group of climbers all trying to find their way down. They huddled together for warmth. Hours passed. Some people in the group started making decisions. Some tried to move. Some stayed. Beck stayed. He couldn't see. He couldn't move. He sat down in the snow. And waited. The storm raged all night. By morning Beck was frozen solid. His face was a mask of ice. His right arm completely frozen. His left hand gone. 2 of his teammates found him. They checked his vitals. They consulted by radio with a doctor at base camp. The verdict was clear. Beck Weathers was dead. Or close enough to dead that saving him was impossible. They left him. They had no choice. You can't carry a body down Everest. Beck lay in the snow for hours. Alone. At 27,000 feet. In temperatures of -60. And then something happened that nobody can explain. He woke up. Not gradually, not slowly. He just opened his eyes. And he was conscious. He described it like this. One moment I was nowhere. The next moment I was there. On the mountain. Alone. Beck couldn't feel his hands. He couldn't feel his face. His right arm was a solid club of ice. But he was alive. And he made a decision. He was going to walk down. He couldn't see properly. He couldn't use his hands. He was severely frostbitten. But he stood up. And he started walking. He walked into camp completely shocking everyone. People who had already accepted his death. People who had already radioed his wife to tell her he was gone. Beck Weathers walked into camp. Like a ghost. That night a helicopter made the highest altitude rescue in history to save him. At 20,000 feet. In conditions that should have made flying impossible. The pilot said afterwards. "I have no idea how we did that. But we did." Beck Weathers survived. But survival came at a cost. He lost his right hand completely. He lost all the fingers on his left hand. He lost his nose. Part of his face. Both cheeks. Doctors rebuilt his face using tissue from other parts of his body. He went through dozens of surgeries. Years of recovery. But here's what Beck says now. Losing those things was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because when he was lying in the snow, dying, the only thing he thought about was his wife. His children. He didn't think about climbing. He didn't think about mountains. He thought about Peach, and their kids. And going home. The black cloud that had followed him his entire life was gone. He came down from that mountain a different man. He stopped chasing the mountains. He started being present at home. Beck Weathers lost his hands. His nose. Part of his face. And found himself. Beck Weathers was left for dead on the highest mountain in the world. At -60 degrees. Completely frozen. Alone. And he walked out. Nobody knows how. Not the doctors. Not the rescue pilots. Not Beck himself. He just decided he wasn't done. And that was enough. The next time life leaves you for dead, remember Beck. They said he was gone. He walked out anyway. If you want more stories of people who refuse to give up, subscribe. Because next week's story is just as impossible. And it's all true.